We dis- Hello, welcome to Radiant Realization with Namrata. We deep dive into captivating conversations about life. I'm your host, Namrata Shah, and I am pleased to welcome Janisha today. Janisha is a counseling psychologist, art therapy practitioner, relationship and marriage counselor. Welcome, Janisha. I'm pleased to have you today.
Hello, Namrata. Thank you for having me here in this podcast. It's very lovely to meet you, and I was very eager for this meeting.
My pleasure to have you here. Janisha, if you can tell me about your studies about psychology and your journey as a counselor.
Sure. So, I did my bachelor's in arts, and while I was doing that, I just realized that I'm very much intrigued and interested in the subject of psychology. And that's when my journey to become a counselor began. And then there was never looking back. Every time I studied psychology, every time I started to see more into it, I started getting the feeling that, okay, this is where I belong and it can give me happiness. Then I did my master's, internships, jobs, everything, and then finally after a long journey, after the experiences that I collected, I found Healing Mind. And now I take individual sessions, couple sessions, corporate sessions, and workshops in my practice. I counsel people from the age group of 17 to 40, 45. And I help them with various issues like stress management, self confidence, or self esteem issues. If you have it low, I can help you with that. I also help corporates in their counseling, couples therapy, and I take up art workshops and art therapy sessions.
Amazing. Janisha, I am excited about today's topic, which is the impact of social media on relationships.
Yes,
We,
me too. Yes,
we,
it does have an impact.
yeah. Because when we start scrolling, we just lose track of time and we even lose who is sitting next to us. So in I've seen once upon a time when people used to travel in local thing, they would talk to each other and they knew their co-passenger. But today, everybody is on phone, everybody is scrolling. I don't know which world they are exploring.
Yeah, sadly, that's the way the world has become. But of course, social media has been a boon to a lot of people. But if you use it wisely, it's a boon. Otherwise, it becomes a little too much. And that's what we are here for.
So to start with, let's discuss about how social media has impacted us positively.
Sure. So when it specifically comes to relationships, it enables two people to communicate effectively, communicate more better. Like I'm sitting here, you're sitting there. Of course, we are both from Mumbai, but we are not living nearby. That I can come to your house and I can talk with you right now, right? But see how this particular platform has helped us to connect with each other. Now we're speaking. I can see you, you can see me. I can hear you, you can hear it. Whatever I do and whatever you do, I know, at least when we are here. So it actually helps you communicate better. Also, it helps a lot of people to find their partners. Like now, the whole zamana is only of dating apps. Now I want to find a match. I go download an app that I feel like, and then I find my match. Gone are the days where we were in college and we used to be like, Ari, that's your friend. Can I talk with him or her? Can you like kind of set me up with this person? Of course, these things do happen, but then mostly people want to search a lot of different options these days. They want to see who is better and who's not, so that it helps. You can share your emotions also very easily. Like if I don't know how to tell you I am feeling XYZ particular thing, I can just go look up on a reel or a post and then just send you, okay, see, this is what I'm feeling. It becomes so easy rather than to like put it in in words. Okay, am I really feeling like this? Oh, will she understand that I'm feeling like this? It becomes a little complicated many a times. Also, it also is a great platform where you can discover shared interest. Like, say, for example, I like movies. You may like movies, but then we don't know what kind of movies we both like. If at all I see certain posts of certain movies and I share it with you, it then becomes like, अच्छा हाँ ठीक है, अभी ये भी मुझे पसंद है, वो भी मुझे पसंद है, so we both like combine that. Also, it gives you lower anxiety कि अरे ये बात क्यों नहीं कर रहा है या बात क्यों नहीं कर रही है, because then you have something or the other that you can keep sending to the person, or it's very easy to send a text message and wait. You know, it becomes easier to connect with the person. So of course, it lowers your anxiety. It builds relationship. Like I said, too much of information sharing, also information that you want your partner to get is shared. So it builds relationships. Like, say, for example, if I see one thing and maybe I'm getting married in like 1 year down the line, and I see some post of marriage or a video of a marriage, I can share it to my partner rather than contemplating कि अरे ये ऐसा करना है या वैसा करना है, ये तो मेरे पास already ready है. I just gave it. If you approve it, then fine. If you don't approve it, then we can see something else. Also, greater empathy. It promotes greater empathy and trust because it's so easy to connect. So easy बन जाता है to talk about what you are feeling, to talk about how it impacts you, which then creates a greater empathy कि हाँ इसको ये पसंद है, हाँ इसको ये नहीं पसंद है. It also gives you a sign of trust that this partner is, kind of looking at me, my post, trying to understand me. So yes, it does have a positive impact as far as you use it the way you have to use it in order to build your relationship and not just keep it virtual.
And how is social media harming our relationship?
Yes, that also it does. See, basically, social media is a platform where people want to show who they are, okay, or maybe who they want to become in the future, right? I can be sitting like this, you can see clean and neat background, but probably I can put up a mess on the opposite side, which you can't see, right? So if I am putting some content out, maybe with my partner on social media, you can only see that. Like, say, for example, if I am putting a hand over my partner's shoulder and I'm looking at him and laughing, you can only see that because that is the only thing that I'm showing you. Maybe we have more fights, maybe we have more differences, maybe we don't even want to look at each other at some point in time. But that is something that we don't show to people, right? And then if you see it, okay, say for an example, you will want to do the same thing with your partner, and your partner may not be ready to do it. Then you will feel, oh, ये लोग तो कर रहे हैं, ये लोग का रिलेशनशिप अच्छा है, मेरा नहीं है क्योंकि my partner is not complying. So it creates a lot of comparison that is not good for any relationship. Like, my relationship should be the way I want it, and the way it is, it's going perfect. If somebody else is doing something else, then of course it is their way of looking at the relationship, their way of performing in the relationship, right? Otherwise, it's just okay. Then it also comes to a point where now I want to post it because I want likes. My partner wants to post it, I don't care. Then what happens after I post it is something that nobody sees. People only know us maybe as a power couple. And what happens behind the scenes, nobody knows, right? It also then sets unrealistic expectations. Like, if I know that this person planned XYZ kind of a surprise for his or her partner, okay, I would also want my partner to do the same. But is my partner a person who likes surprises? Yes or no will depend on how you take the relationship. Is my partner okay and open to do these kinds of big gestures, or the partner is comfortable for smaller ones? So then it creates a FOMO. कि अभी ये लोग वेकेशन के लिए इधर गए, अभी हम लोग भी जाएंगे, हम लोग भी ऐसे ही पोज में क्लिक करेंगे, ऐसे ही पिक्चर्स डालेंगे, तो हम अच्छे से रिलेशनशिप निभा पाएंगे. सो योर एक्शंस आर आल्सो ऑन फोमो, योर डिसीजंस आर आल्सो ऑन फोमो, and your expectations then get unrealistic from your partner, from your relationship, जो पहले थे ही नहीं और पहले शायद requirement भी नहीं. Like I may not want my partner to kind of give me breakfast in bed with like roses and everything. Yes, of course, I may like it. मतलब करेगा सामने से, then it's fine. But then if I expect my partner seeing those kinds of posts and reels, it will create a havoc in my own life, right? Then it creates a lot of insecurities too. Like, say, for example, I saw one video which has some kind of a message, and then I go to my partner and say, do you also do these kinds of things? Will these things interest you if something goes wrong? And then it creates a lot of insecurity because this partner is clueless. Why I'm asking this? What happened? Right? Maybe I tell them कि हाँ मैंने ये video देखा था, but then insecurity तो आ गई, which was not necessary in the first place, right? Also, diminished interest because I may then not be interested in my partner because now I'm interested in other people doing other interesting things in the relationship and my partner not doing those things in the relationship. So I'm tired convincing my partner कि तुम ये करो, तुम वो करो, तुम ऐसा मत करो. So I may be like, अच्छा छोड़ो जाने दो, क्या फर्क पड़ता है, right? And lack of real life attention also. Like if I am constantly scrolling, I'm constantly telling my partner हमें ऐसा करना चाहिए. The attention is not because me and my partner want to give each other the attention. The attention is because I'm thinking that हमें ऐसा करना चाहिए, and that's the reason the attention is getting onto me and getting onto us. So the real life connection where you do not where you discuss only certain things which you feel are better for your relationship is something that then goes out of the room. So this is the way social media negatively also impacts you.
Now, how does that time that we spend across different social media apps impacts our interaction with our spouse?
Definitely our time that we spend with our spouse, it decreases. Okay, because you are too busy scrolling, you're too busy looking out for ideas and stuff online that you forget that you have a partner. And even if you remember, you are only talking about मैंने ये वीडियो में ऐसा देखा, मैंने वो वीडियो में ऐसा देखा, ये ऐसा हो सकता है, वो वैसा हो सकता है, हम ऐसा क्यों नहीं कर रहे हैं, should we also do something like this? Where is the talk about you both? That I felt XYZ in this day, or this day was XYZ to me, or maybe my work was so pathetic. Okay, yeah, let's go out and see a movie together and let's talk about it. So the quality time that you spend is very less. Also, when the insecurity steeps in because of your social media use, you are always on the spree of like ये क्यों ऐसा हो रहा है, वो क्यों ऐसा हो रहा है, इसने इसका पिक्चर क्यों लाइक किया, ये इसके साथ बात क्यों कर रहा है या कर रही है, any of the partner in this case. And also there are lots of emotional ups and downs that you go through because you're seeing one thing, okay, you're experiencing another thing, you want that thing to be done to you, or you want to experience those kind of experiences, but then maybe your partner is not open towards them. So you go through a lot of emotional up and down also because then you feel okay, why is my partner not doing, why is my partner not caring for me, is my partner even loving me? Whereas all those questions were never in place, now they are coming into the place, and then it impacts your mood, it impacts how you view the relationship, and it impacts how you talk with your partner. So overall, then it is like a havoc. अभी ये है तो वो नहीं है, वो है तो ये नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है तो वैसा है, वैसा नहीं है तो ऐसा.
And there's so much of comparison and pressure to present the best version of yourself across Instagram or on Facebook, new dress, a special pose, or exotic location. And how do couple navigate this conversation?
Well, to look perfect or not is a very individualistic question. Okay, I may want to look perfect. Like, say, for example, if I'm dressed up today, I may want to click the picture with my partner, which is like picture perfect, and post it. That is my individual way of maybe uh, being seen on social media. Does my partner want to be seen same way? Have I asked my partner? So it highly depends on how you feel about being perfect or posting certain things on social media. So individualistically, I may be okay, but it's very nice and crucial that both of the partners sit together and decide what kind of posts will go on social media, what kind of things will go, what kind of stories will go. Is the partner comfortable? Is the partner not comfortable? What is the idea? Like, if I am telling my idea is XYZ, okay, I would want to hear from my partner what is his idea. And are our ideas matching? Or can we go to a common ground? कि अच्छा चलो ये इतना ही रखते हैं, वो उतना रखते हैं. This is our common ground and we are posting from this perspective on social media. So everything that we post will go only and only from that lens, right? So it actually depends on the couple. Like, if you want to be the perfect couple online, you can be the perfect couple online. You can kind of like post perfect pictures and give perfect captions, and you can go to any extent. But it all depends on what lines are you posting, what is your like main aim to post it, and then navigation becomes easier. But then if you are not aligned to why you're doing it and you're just doing it because sab log kar rahe hai, everybody poses like this and everybody does like this, so I will also do, we will also do, and I make my husband also do it or my boyfriend also do it, then it creates differences. Then it creates a lot of pressure on me also. Kare, I have to look this perfect. I have to be this perfect. And then in the matter of being perfect, looking perfect, displaying things perfect, I may lose the essence of my time with my partner. Like, maybe we are meeting for a date. Now, I may want everything to be nice. So I click pictures aesthetically. I click pictures of us sitting together. I would record videos of maybe my partner feeding me and me feeding my partner, and then we laughing and this and that and everything. And until and unless I feel that it is perfect, or maybe my partner feels that it is perfect, we are only spending time in doing things for social media rather than doing things for ourselves. So the quality time that we wanted to spend, for which we actually met each other, then goes somewhere else. And then the complaint will be like, oh, you're not giving us time. You're always there on social media. Yes, we are a power couple, but who we are exactly, like why we are even a power couple. We don't have anything amongst us. We are not
Sure. And what I have noticed, Janisha, is that I had few friends, they were like super amazing. And whenever I would watch their photographs or their reels on the Instagram, I really felt this strong desire. Oh wow, this is like the type of marriage that I would want to be in. And it changed lot of my conditioning around marriage, the conservative conditioning in which I was brought up. And it's the soon I realized my perception about what I see is very different from the reality that they were going through. Because in 6 months, what I heard was that they have parted their ways. And that was heartbreaking for me because I had no idea what was going on. So what I would like to know from you is how does social media influences other people on their perception of relationship?
well, it highly influences you. Okay. Like, to a level that you can want your partner to do certain things for you, behave in a certain way. act in a certain way, respond in a certain way to you, which may not be necessary in the very start when you either were dating or got married. But now that I am seeing that on social media, I want that. Like, I want you to take care of me. I want you to say nice things to me. I want you to bring flowers. I want you to give me surprises. I want us to go on exotic vacations. So the thing that people miss is, like I told you, I can be completely happy and matlab, have a very great one wall for shooting myself on social media, एंड मेरा घर completely opposite हो सकता है behind the camera. मैं मेरे husband या partner के साथ fight कर सकती हूँ behind the camera. I can yell at my husband or my partner कि why the hell did you not look at me like this? ये ऐसे expression देना था, समझ में नहीं आ रहा है क्या? But वो आप लोगों को नहीं दिखे. Right? Like, even let's take our example for the matter of fact. We also do a lot of things that we do in a video that matlab we then say अरे यार क्या video, क्या editing, क्या ये, क्या वो. Okay, we don't say it or we don't show it while we are shooting a video. We are nice, we are good to people, we talk, we want to share. Okay, even when we are editing the video, that is true. But बाद में थोड़ा तो अरे यार ये क्यों नहीं हो रहा है, अरे यार वो क्यों नहीं हो रहा है. We also get frustrated when certain things don't happen. That is the behind the scene. But what people see as a final product is like, हाँ इसकी लाइफ तो स्मूथ चल रही है, मस्त ऐसे वीडियोस बना रहे हैं, सब ठीक चल रहा है. Right? So what is important when you see reels, videos and expect from your partner or want to implement certain things in your partner is, how are you seeing it and what do you want your partner from it is something that you should communicate. Like, say for example, I am sharing a reel where somebody is given some surprise on a birthday to the wife or the girlfriend, and I'm sharing this with my partner. Okay, I can say, hey, you know what? This can be a nice idea. Let's plan something like this next time. Maybe for a birthday, maybe for a date, or maybe just ऐसे ही when we go outside. अगर ऐसा कुछ हो तो मजा आए. And then I leave it there and there itself. I don't then go to my partner and say, hey, when are you doing this? When are you doing this? मेरा birthday आ रहा है, मेरी anniversary अपनी anniversary आ रही है, हम कहाँ जा रहे हैं, क्या plans है, मैं छुट्टी लूँ क्या? Okay, so I know I like this idea. I gave this idea to my partner. Now my partner wants to do it, doesn't want to do it. That's his baby. But if he wants to surprise you in a very different way, like say, for example, take you out for a vacation, and that is just a simple date that the person has arranged with a lot of flowers and balloons. This person is taking you to a holiday. So what is more nice, the flowers and the balloons or the holiday? But we fail to see the efforts because हम लोग तो impress हो गए flowers और balloons से. अभी हमें वही चाहिए. तुम बाहर क्यों लेके जा रहे हो? है ना? So every time that you share something, every time that you think this is nice, keep a track on why do you think this is nice and how your partner is or isn't doing things for you. Because there are different love languages where people express and show their love. I can be totally a gift giving person and you could totally be a time giving person. Okay, like I can bring gifts anytime, any day. I'm happy, I'll give you something. Okay, our anniversary, I'll give you something. Your birthday, I'll give you something. You got a promotion, I'll give you something. But maybe your love language is spending quality time. If I got promoted, you'll be like, okay, I cancelled everything. Let's sit together, watch a nice cozy movie at home. I'll cook something nice for you and let's talk. Okay, if it's our anniversary, your plan would be, let's go out for a cozy dinner only, just the two of us. So it all depends on how your partner is putting things up for you, making you feel special, rather than what other people on social media are doing to make their partner feel special. Because it's very easy to show, okay, that, oh, I bought flowers, and that doesn't, I mean, I don't know it may be an acting that the person is getting happier with everything. Maybe the reality can be very different. You never know. Maybe if your partner starts doing that, like bringing you flowers and smiling at you and everything, maybe you'll like it for 1 or 2 days, but then if it's an everyday practice, even you would be like, हाँ ठीक है ना, अभी flowers का क्या करेंगे, मर जाएंगे. So the reality and the real, they are supposed to be separate for a reason. It's because every relationship is different. Every partner's way of expressing love, care, affection is different. And the needs of the relationship is different. So it's okay to see, scroll, get ideas from social media. I don't deny that. I may want ideas how to surprise my husband or my partner or my boyfriend or anyone significant. But it should align with what I also want to do. Like putting flowers on a pool and then falling inside it may not be something that aligns with me. Like I may not want to waste flowers. I may not want to do all those things because kya fayda, usme girne hi wale. Right? But maybe if my partner likes it once in a while, I can do it. Like 1 year anniversary, because that is special for people. So maybe I can do it there. But then I will not want to repeat it the next time. I will not want my partner to repeat it. Then kya? So align with your own marriage. How you want to build it is your own thing, private with your partner. You can take ideas, मतलब इधर घूमने जाने तो किधर जाएंगे, couple friendly spaces search करो, reels videos देखो, ideas ले लो, not अच्छा वो लोग वहां पे ऐसे कर रहे हैं, ऐसा पोस्ट कर रहे हैं, उसने उसके लिए इधर ऐसा किया. Maybe you want to cut that off because maybe you want to do something different. Yeah. So it's according to how you will make it.
What can couples do to ensure that social media does not create any insecurity between them or lead to a spark of jealousy between them while they're interacting with other people, whether online world or at or physically meeting people?
Yeah. So basically, this depends on a lot of factors. I have been telling you about finding your marriage goals, thinking what your marriage feels like, and doing what your marriage wants you to do. So mainly it depends on that. Like if I have communicated with my partner of what insecurity means to me, why do I get insecure? What is cheating according to me? Because cheating is a very big word which has individual definitions. For me, cheating can be one thing, and for you, cheating can be a different thing altogether. So if we already have communicated that, okay, then the jealousy or insecurity can't make a breach amongst us. So it's very important to communicate your own needs as a person and as couples according to you, and same thing with your partner. So once you know that your couple goals are aligned, your beliefs, values are aligned, how you are going to work through your relationship is aligned, then I don't think so there is anything that can come in between. Yes, jealousy can come. Like if my partner is liking someone who is better looking than me, I may find it very intriguing. But if I have a word with my husband as to, or my boyfriend, okay, what is happening, how is it, then I may know that he's just doing it just like that. Or maybe he liked the background or the dress or whatever. Okay, or maybe he just got attracted to her, and that does not mean that he wants to cheat on me or wants to leave me. It's just that ho gaya, normal hai. We are human beings. We get attracted to other people, and that's how it is. So then the whole thing is only over. So communicating and knowing how your goals are aligned is also very, very important.
Okay, Janisha, like you mentioned in the start, so one partner can be a little introvert, needs lot of private time, would like to keep his or her life private, maintain privacy. Whereas other partner would be an outgoing, he or she would want to show the relationship to the world. In this case, there is likelihood of lot of conflict sprouting in a relationship because both have different dynamics and their expectation from life. So what are your thoughts on this? How this can be navigated?
So ideally, this can be navigated only and only through communication and understanding why things are important for the opposite person. So, say for example, if I am a relationship and marriage counselor, okay, I may want to post certain things about my marriage, my relationship online, so that people can know how I am navigating and what tips I can give to them. Okay. It may not be very explicit that we are too close to each other, or we are, posing in a way that I may not want people to see, or him also may not want people to see. But then it becomes essential that we communicate this through. I may say that, okay, my purpose is XYZ. I won't share XYZ. I will ask you before sharing. We are going to be like this only. You don't need to communicate to anybody. The pictures that we click are, of course, approved by you. So I will also go ahead and then see if they are neutral, and then I can post. So that will be my side. And if he does not want to at all comply to this, it's my duty to not force him into it, right? Maybe he's okay for me to post it in my private accounts for people and friends to see, or maybe he's not okay for me to post on my public account. I have to respect that. Maybe with time, he can be like, "Acha, theek hai, you post, I don't mind." But I have to wait until he is comfortable. He knows what I do, how I behave, and what are my intentions behind it. So it's very easy. It becomes easier once you start communicating. Once you start talking about your intentions, once you start telling him, बस मुझे दिखाना है. तो अगर बस मुझे दिखाना ही है, तो मतलब क्या हो सकता है कि हम कम दिखाए, या फिर we only say what we think needs to go out to the public, and then that is also a mutual decision. कि, okay, this should go, this shouldn't go. We shouldn't be talking about this. We should be talking only about this. So navigation ho jata hai, but communication is the key. And how you communicate is also the key. I can't say, "Arey, you shut up. I know everything. Don't be like that. I also have an image to maintain. So don't worry, I am not going to post anything." That will hurt you. And vice versa. Right? So the way you communicate is like, "I understand, but I have this intention behind posting. I will get this approved by you. I will show you what I'm doing. Don't worry. I also can't post certain kinds of images and videos online." All of those things. Then finally, this partner understands, or whatever you decide is a respectfully mutual decision that you should take. Because then if you don't do that, then maybe your partner will not be happy with you. There will be resentment, there will be fight in and around it. So then it becomes a little difficult. So navigate it while you communicate it. That's the key.
And how social media helps couple to strengthen their bond. All negative aspects we saw, but jealousy के साथ कुछ positive spark भी आ सकता है ना?
अरे बिल्कुल आ सकता है. So positive impacts can be way too much. Like say for example, I want to communicate certain feelings to my partner. Okay, and I may not have exact words to support me. I see a reel where something is showing up and they are doing and telling each other exactly what I want to communicate. Okay, I can share it with my partner. Or any post that, say for example, we've had a fight or we've had differences, and I'm telling one thing to my partner, and this person is not understanding it. I see a post related to the similar thing. I can send it to my partner. See it. Okay. Probably my partner will understand from that post rather than how I tell to my partner. So sharing things, sharing ideas, like maybe there is a page which suggests what you can do, like things to do in your city. kind of a page on social media, and they display a lot of fun activities that a couple can do together and have fun. Maybe we've not had that kind of time to spend with each other, and if I see it and this person, I send it to my partner and this person likes it, maybe we both go and spend a great time together and we have fun. So it does help to strengthen your relationship as far as you use it correctly. The way you use it and the way you communicate about it, the way you feel about it, will high is the high dependent factor on whether it will go on a positive side or whether it will go on a negative side. Also, what you can do is follow accounts that align with your expectations. Like, if I think I am a travel person, I will follow travel pages. If I think that I want relationship advices, I will look out for genuine people who give it on a very genuine note, and just not like they're not doing it for just social media or just making a video or just being an influencer couple. Some people who do it, they do it genuinely to give relationship advice. Some psychology profiles you can follow, they give you relationship advice. So if you want something to know about your relationship, follow those accounts. If you are interested in one particular hobby, follow those accounts. Share it with your partner. So intentionally following people is also a key. Of course, there will be unintentional followers because you've liked them and you followed them and you like their content just for an enjoyment purpose. Then keep it there. Then don't go and tell के मेरा husband ये नहीं करता है या मेरी wife ये नहीं करती है. They're just meant to entertain each other. Like, just put it for an entertainment purpose. Like, maybe when you're just playfully taunting your partner, okay, you don't do, then you can send that particular reel and say, see, this person is doing this, you're not doing this. But that's like a playful taunt. You're not serious at all. You're not taking it personally. You're just like kind of, playfully talking with each other. Then this helps. So be mindful of what you share, what you follow. And even if you find something too overwhelming, too extraordinary, and out of the way that is not happening in your relationship, that's also fine. As far as you talk with your partner and clear it off, not let it sit into your relationship and then take it so forward that you're not in love with me, you don't want to do anything for me, you hate me, why did I get married to you and I want to not be with you anymore. So you have to learn to navigate, and for that you need a strong foundation of what you want to do as a couple. How do you want to behave as couples? Okay, do you want this to be important, that to be important? You need to communicate. That is always going to be the key, no matter what you do.
One most critical thing which I feel in relationship is at one point in time, when we would part ways with our friends, we might not even know their whereabouts for years and maybe decades. But today, you can see your ex-partner or a ex-husband on social media. You would have a lot of common friends. Since we are social animal, we cannot cut ourselves out of all the interactions. In those cases, how to handle interaction with ex-partner or somebody with whom you had a romantic interest and there was this conflict, but you see them on social media platform.
Yeah. So that is one of the important questions that you've asked me. What happens usually is that when you are getting married or when you are in a relationship, it's very essential that you talk about your past. Because if you don't talk about your past, your partner is not going to understand what kind of relationships you've been through. Accordingly, what are your expectations from this relationship, and also how those relationships have impacted you. Okay, so it is very natural that the ex card discussion is already done and over with when you are in a committed relationship or when you get married, because that is the first thing that usually everyone asks each other. Did you have a past? What all happened? And how did it impact you? And even if you haven't had that conversation, I would actually urge you to just think about how your exes or your past relationships are now coming in your present relationships in terms of your insecurities or the wants that you want from your partner. And if at all you feel comfortable sharing it, do share with your partner, okay, this had happened and it is impacting me like this right now. And when you don't do XYZ or say XYZ, that's how it is taking me back to the past insecurities. And if you don't feel like it's fine, you just talk about the feeling. But taking on the account that these days people are too open to discuss about the past and too inquisitive about the other person's past, and the discussions have already been set, then already the expectations of how the ex communicates with you or whether the ex communicates with you is already set. And for the other things, like I said, you have to discuss how does your partner view other people approaching you. Like, of course, it's a social media thing, and you may get a lot of requests and text messages from other people, which may want your attention, and which some may be good, some may be bad. Okay, so you can discuss it with your partner as to how your partner sees those kinds of comments or presence or messages in your DMs. And then communicated that, okay, if I am yours, I am yours, I'm not going to cheat. So even if other people are in my DMs, they're just going to be there. I'll just block them, not talk with them or anything. But then that is your way to ask your partner, okay, how are you feeling about it? And how do you want both of us to get past this? What do you want me to do to not make you feel insecure about this? And even if an ex is approaching, how do you feel about him approaching me and me talking to him at least some words? Okay, are you fine with it? Will you not be fine with it? Are you feeling insecure? What do you want me to do to help you navigate this insecurity? So, communication. And even if you all have discussed, then so there is no point of discussing about the exes, because either you would have blocked them or your partner would know that this person is already in touch with you and how much this person has an access to. So that's the way you go about things.
How can couple disconnect from social media platform or across all gadgets so that they can focus on each other and have that emotional satisfactions of spending time with your loved one?
Well, this is a very important thing that all couples need to hear and do. Okay, it's something that I also, as a couples therapist, recommend. The first thing is take your time, select a time that is most comfortable to you to not use your phones or any social media. I'm not saying that don't use it in the morning or in the afternoon or something like that. Take a time that is most convenient for you to not look at your phone. That's first. The second thing is find common interest and hobbies, discover them. Like if I like reading, my partner also likes reading. Maybe we can have a reading session together. Or if I like to play games, my partner also likes to play games. We can bring board games and play together. Or maybe we can bring our friends in and then play together as a group. Okay, maybe we can explore new ways to stay connected with each other without getting bored. It could be anything like exploring new play dates, okay, where a couple can play together, like in the sense, there are so many places in and around Mumbai that are play date friendly. So you both can go, you can play, enjoy yourself, connect with each other better, and then, come back. So you need to find out common interests, common hobbies. If you don't have common, try and find out what you both can do together, explore new things, new places together. Maybe if you both are foodie, you can try new and different restaurants together. कौन सा menu अच्छा लग रहा है? If you are probably a sporty person, go on a a sport playing date together where, y'all are against each other or as a team playing with another couples who are as a team. So there are a lot of things that you can do, but you should be open to it. Set alarms. Like if you are thinking, okay, 30 minutes, no devices, not even TV in and around us. Okay, put an alarm. Mobile ko बाजू में रख दो, मतलब far away. Let it ring when the alarm goes off, maybe 30 minutes later, maybe 1 hour later. Until that time only talk. आज का दिन कैसा था? मुझे इतना इतना फील हुआ. It was too stressful for me. Talk about how you both can help each other during your tough times. How do you want to feel supported by your partner? Right? So there are many ways, but it's just that you need to put your devices outside in order to explore. Because it's not like that every idea that you may want to have and you may want to spend with each other is there on social media. Sometimes you are your own idea. Your brain is your own idea. How you feel about each other and what you want to do with each other is your new idea. So give that also some time, give discussions also some time. Okay. And keep this as a practice and build over it. Like say, for example, aaj 15 minutes without devices and ek saath. Maybe next day or 5 minute extend karo. Keep building it. Then it will go to 30 minutes, then it will go to 40 minutes, then 45 minutes, then 50, then an hour. And then probably you will build it more ke, ठीक है अभी holiday है ना, तो आज का पूरा दिन we won't use our phone, we'll just be with each other. So it builds, but you have to put that effort to build it.
So now one thing that I would like to know from you is what are the best etiquettes from social media point of view that any couple can inculcate in their day-to-day life? Also, what are the must don'ts? Like, don't do this to have a healthy, happy marriage life.
Okay, well, this question is highly individualistic because I may want to use social media to make my relationship better, to make my communication better. But I also the other person may not want to use social media to make the communication in the relationship better. So it's highly individualistic, but yes, don't give too much of your personal information on social media. Okay, don't share too much of what you are feeling and how your relationship is on social media. Okay, don't compromise on your beliefs and values of how and what you want to share on social media about your marriage. Having said that, I'm not saying that don't use it for a better purpose in your life, but there are certain things that if you can navigate, fine. Like if I want to share that हम ये कर रहे हैं आज रात को हमारा ये plan है, and then I can handle people asking me that the next time and I have to answer to it, then fine. But then if I can't answer to it, it's better not to share. Okay, of course, I can use it for a better communication. Like, say, for example, I am feeling something, I have told this to my partner, and the partner is not understanding, and there is something that I see on social media, which I feel that my partner will understand and like, and I can go ahead and share. But the main thing is for me to communicate. ये देखो मैंने ये शेयर किया है, is just a perspective out of it कि हम ऐसा कुछ कर सकते हैं क्या? Can we start communicating this way? Not के अच्छा अभी से यही करते, तुम ऐसे बात क्यों नहीं करते? Can we do something like this sometime? Let's just try na. It will give us something new in our relationship. Right? So do's and don'ts highly depend on what do you want to do with social media? Do you want to use social media to share certain emotions? Go ahead, but put your reference to context also to it. Like I shared it because I like this particular thing in this video. Okay, can we build on this particular thing? We want to try it. Or maybe I like the way this this man was doing things to his wife. Okay. Can we build on something like this in your way? So how you want to use it is how you decide to use it. But stick to your beliefs and values. If I'm not comfortable sharing, my partner should respect it. If my partner is not comfortable sharing, I should respect it. Don't give out too much of information that is to being shared everywhere. That so online पे ज़्यादा personal information मत दो, because obviously scams होते हैं, परेशानियां होती है, वो सारी चीजें तो है. So yes, don't share too much of your personal stuff that is too private for you on social media, even as couples. It's okay to not let people know how and what you're doing and what are your plans. Okay. But yes, use it wisely so that it can help you build your relationship, establish that trust and communication. Okay. And keep the communication going. Like if I have to go on a trip and my husband is here, okay, and he is constantly sharing something or the other, it's fine. It helps us to stay connected. It helps us to build something. But if I'm here only and this person is sending me के तुम ये देखो, ऐसा नहीं कर सकते क्या, वैसा नहीं कर सकते क्या, of course it will create like क्या है तुमको, right? So use it the way you feel. It will help you to build your relationship. It will help you to try out something new. Okay. If you are somebody like me, like say for example, I'm a marriage counselor and a couples therapist. So if I want to share something, I will obviously share it out of a goodwill के मैं तो ऐसा कर रही हूँ, मेरे relationship में काम कर रहा है, आपकी relationship में भी कर सकता है. So follow the right people, follow trustworthy people, follow people which align with your values. So it becomes very easy for you to share it with your partner, and it becomes easier for you to navigate the whole thing through as well.
Nisha, nice talking to you, and you've given a lot of insights that would help us to calm down our initial anxiety around social media. Because the most important aspect is how do we communicate with our spouse? So the desires and expectation of both the partner in a relationship are aligned. I would say, Dinesha, the insights that you gave are truly, truly coming from your heart and from your experience dealing with client. Thank you so much for coming and sharing this.
I loved talking about this topic and I can go on. Thank you for having me, and thank you for navigating this very nicely. Yes, of course, communication and what you have set as your expectation from your partner in a very realistic way is important, and how you communicate is also important. But one thing I would like listeners to take is use social media. There is no problem in using it. There is no problem in expecting your partner to do certain things that you see in the videos that people do. Okay. But let's then align it to the way we are aligned in our relationship, the way our partner is aligned to make us feel special or care for us. Don't just let the other people doing certain things in a certain way influence how we want our relationship to be and how we want our partners to do things for us. And communication is the key. Communicate how and what you feel. And yeah, that is how you navigate. And if at all you do have problems in communication, talk to the experts. I'm available.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. I loved this conversation and you navigated it perfectly well.